Hi, I'm Luke, better known as DW2012, or formerly known as Doctor Who 2012. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Today marks the 10-year anniversary of the channel, and we will be taking a trip back in time to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of DW2012, a YouTube channel that originally started off producing Doctor Who stop-start animation figure adventures has now become this. Something that I like to describe as a life-changing experience. So sit back, enjoy, and let's celebrate.
What was your motive to creating a YouTube channel?
Honestly, I had no intentions on creating content. YouTube was in its early days back then, and content wasn't like how it is today. But I remember watching a video about a Doctor Who figure adventure, and I thought, oh, this is great. Every time I tried to rate the video, I mean, yes, you had to rate videos back then. There was no like or dislikes. But every time I tried to rate it, I was asked to create an account. And I remember watching this one video, and I really wanted to comment. So I gave in and I signed up to YouTube under the name of Doctor Who 2009, because I liked Doctor Who and it was 2009 original. But yeah, the channel name was already taken. Of course it was, It's not exactly original, but so I tried Doctor Who 2010, and that was also taken. So I figured just pick any number. So I chose Doctor Who 2012. Capitalised the D and W to stand more of a chance of having the name, and it worked. So yeah, that's how the channel was created and the name was chosen. It wasn't like big plan or anything, just happy accident.
Hello, I'm Dion Patton. I play Irish Doctor, and I also do stuff like VFX, and I do the odd camera work for the channel.
Question 1. Describe DW2012 in your own words.
Well, DW2012, it started out with smaller things like I saw Luke and he'd do like figurine adventures and stuff like that, and then he started doing fan films, and then it's now broader. DW2012 is no longer a channel. It's now a variety of channels and media. We now have a whole pile of people doing their own thing, and now it's now such a broader scope of what it was originally, and now it's just a more tight community. I think it's just going to get bigger and bigger as time goes on.
Now, of course, after creating the channel, you went on to create content.
Yeah, oh yes. Well, I originally started with Lego customs, Lego stop motion animation, which then developed into figure adventures, and now into live action. A lot of the videos have been taken down now. It's purely because it's a dark, cringy past that I would not like haunting me now. Describe DW2012 in your own words.
In my own words, it's a channel that's like from the fans for the fans, because we, just like anybody else, regardless, if you're just a fan or you make videos or anything, we're just people who like Doctor Who and are interested in filmmaking. And it's fun, it's just something that we like to create and share with people, and we've got quite far with it, and that's pretty impressive.
Oh, in my own words?
In your own words, yeah.
Are you sure that's wise?
Yes. Just know that there will be an age restriction on it.
An age restriction?
Yeah, family friendly channel.
DW2012. It's been very good to me. I got some good tips out of the experience, and they make nice sandwiches. No, really, DW2012 is one of those channels that the moment that you start watching the content, you know that there's a good group of people behind it. There's a good kind of social structure. You know that when you're watching some stuff from behind the scenes, or even an episode of a show that they've got going on, there's good camaraderie behind the camera. There's good stuff between the scenes, which I think kind of justifies sometimes for their stuff to come out. You know, it taking so long for their stuff to come out, because you know that the love's been put behind it, and it's often quite rare to find that kind of natural. Because you see a lot of YouTube channels, and you can totally see they're phoning it in, like really, like so much so that it just becomes boring. But with DW2012, you get that kind of chemistry that is so hard to find, and it keeps people coming back to see more. I think more than anything else, which is why they don't mind the fact that some of the monsters might look a little bit ropey in the earlier series, or you know, the wobbly sets and stuff like that, or the fact that some people's acting abilities are better than others. It's the fact that the love and the passion is behind that, and that isn't me throwing shade, by the way. I am like genuinely, it's like it doesn't matter, because you're just looking at a person and you're like, oh, they really enjoyed themselves while they're doing that. That's good, that's nice.
DW2012 has become more than a YouTube channel. Now, yes, we're not massive, you know, we don't have millions of subscribers, but you don't need that, you know. This channel has become like a family. Everyone involved has worked on this channel off their own backs. There's never been like a selfish reason, and I think that alone speaks a lot. DW2012 is fun, and that's all it's ever been. If we're not having fun, then there's something very wrong. Fun is the fundamental centerpiece of this channel.
Oh, blimey, right. So I feel it is a group of creative individuals who've all come together to work on a project or projects of things that they love and create their own interpretations of it.
DW2012 is a community of people who it's not just like a business type of deal, but it's more of like a friendship. It's a community driven thing. It's not like a transaction based thing where it's like we produce goods, give it to the fans. Like the amount of hard work and friendships and bonds between the people in the team of DW2012 is incredible. So if I were to describe it, it's a very love-based harmony of people who love Doctor Who and is underpinned by themes of friendship and a really good work ethic.
The majority of people know you now for the Doctor Who fan film series, and also that guy with the TARDIS. Were those two factors ever your end goal?
No, not at all. I used to watch a lot of fan films back in 2010, but I never really considered actually doing it. Like after 2009, a lot of Doctor Who fan films just sort of fell quiet. But I started building TARDIS sets for the figure adventures, and each one got bigger and bigger till 2010 came around, and I had built a full-size 4th Doctor's console from cardboard, and I was so happy with it. But it was cardboard, and it's really not the best material source to use. So the next year I had moved on to wood, which was my first ever wooden construction. I had never used a saw or a drill, I had no money, so everything I used was just like scrap pieces of wood that my dad had kept. And then I had my first ever wooden console. And God, it was awful. I mean, even like the paint was left over from my parents when they decorated the house, and then I got into this routine where I repainted it into black and gold, then repainted it again into white, and by the time 2012 came round, I'd thrown that console out just because it was awful to look at. And so then I looked into making a new sort of console, taking what I learned from that onto the next one. Yeah, and I called that one Mark V. And it was inspired by the Schalke Doctor, so it had the extended panels and it was varnished wood like the 8th Doctor's. And it sat on this lovely like Victorian table with the legs like curving out. It had a planetarium as a time rotor. Yeah, and I used to run round and pretend to be the Doctor. No judgment, you know, we've all done it. But yeah, then it hit me. Why don't I make my own live action fan films? I thought it was a great idea. So I began planning, but I planned everything backwards to make sure it makes sense. I used to do that a lot with like figure adventures. So Fall of the Doctor was written as an idea, and then Dawn of the Doctor was scripted soon after that. And then I realised probably going to need a console room. So I pitched the idea to my mum and dad. I was like, I want to build a TARDIS. I was like, a TARDIS? You got a TARDIS? I was like, no, I want to build a console room for the TARDIS. And they were nice enough to go half on a shed. And then I created the TARDIS that you see today. And the rest is history, as they say. What's been the best part about being involved with the channel?
Oh, the best part. That's so hard because there's so much there that it's really. I mean, it's tough because on the one hand I could go down the route and say, oh, it's great that I when I get fans come up to me, and you know, ask for photos and whatnot and all that kind of thing, or I could. But at the end of the day, I would probably say that my favourite thing about being involved in the channel in itself is the fact that it's really helped me become less of just an unfocused idiot. It's helped me just kind of like really realise what's important in my life as a whole, because I see the hard work that's put in, and I'm just like, everything just gets put into perspective, you know, and I think that's great, because before I probably kind of like, I used to have loads of projects for my photo shoots and loads of other things, and they just never came to fruition because I don't know, I just got lazy or what have you. But through being involved with DW2012, I realised that if you really put the hard work in, even if you're not really feeling it, it comes out alright in the end. Yeah. Plus the lollies, those are often quite nice. I can't have them anymore though. They're bad for my teeth.
What's been the best part about being involved in the channel?
Well, we've got to work and meet like so many different people, and it's sort of fun being able to like work and act alongside different people, because they bring, like, a different person can bring something to the show compared to someone else. And we've had like so many fun memories on set and just laughs, and you know, we've messed up lines and it's took us ages to do it just because how much sort of fun we're having, and as well as like locations, and whenever we get like the scripts come through, we're always like, oh, what are we doing in this script? It's always really exciting to sort of be going on to the next episode and moving on. It's just kind of the memories really of sort of looking back and sort of knowing that, yeah, we've like accomplished something and it's really exciting.
I'd say meeting everyone, it is a bit like a second family, and it's fun to do, and seeing how everything progresses from it being written to the final product that is put out, it's really cool. And I like seeing all the different stages.
The best part for me is seeing people's feedback. Like, all those wonderful comments from the audience really has to be the best part. Going out and then like meeting people who watch the channel, appreciate the channel, people who just want a photo, just to talk. It's amazing to see how many people enjoy it and tune in. So that's got to be the best part. But I'd also think that seeing my friends on a regular basis, like, because we're all sort of like, we're also dotted around the UK. We're not all Birmingham based. There's only a handful of us in Birmingham. Without doing the channel, we wouldn't see each other that often, and I think we've all sort of developed a strong friendship that I don't think would have been there if we didn't do this. The channel's really sort of like fused us together and gave us a reason to sort of meet up, which is nice.
There's two things that come to mind when I think about the best time I had on this channel. Is the first time I met Luke for filming for series 3, I believe, and there was that's because that's the first time we met Luke, and we filmed like the littlest amount of clips for series 3, but because we were just having so much fun that day. And there's also filming for the film that big day, and the thing is, the day itself was, there's Anya by the way. The day itself was horrible. The heat was so bad, and everyone, I think I was just in a small shirt, and everyone else was in leather jackets, latex masks. So if I was feeling the heat, God help everyone else.
You were feeling the heat, like, metaphorically, in that you were pressured, like, doing the camera work, so to say.
Sort of, yeah. And then I was sort of, and the reason I like that is because I definitely got to be very much a director for the film, and I feel like that's I got a lot of say in what kind of shots we get. Because me and Luke, when we were looking at the shot list, we're sort of like, we could sort of merge shots and we can do shots. It was a lot of fun collaborating with Luke with directing the film, because a lot of the ideas we had for the shots we sort of just came up with each other. If not, we sort of fought with the same thing, you know. And I felt like that was a good working relationship, considering he needs someone behind the camera whilst he was in front of it.
Tortured Rebirth. Gonna be honest, the minute Luke said I could do it by myself and go off and, you know, write this thing, I was like, great. And then I was like, who would be the dashing handsome lead? And Ben was busy being the companion, so I thought I'd do it. Yes, no, I've enjoyed working on Tortured Rebirth. The mini-sode was quite fun to film and everything, and then I've enjoyed doing the Tortured bits, which I don't know if have they aired by now? Have they aired? We've put out episode. Nothing has happened. There may be a cameo, but I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed filming Tortured bits for the movie, which I don't know if you will ever see, but there were bits in there. No? They're never going to see those? There were Tortured bits in the film. Shh, we can't talk about those either. So really I can tell you very little about what I enjoyed. But I enjoyed the day when we were all, you know, monsters and everything. There was 14 of us in sort of quarry kind of thing, and Dom was sort of overheating. That was quite funny, and Ben was just, shut up! This is my video! Get your own. But yes.
Best part, definitely the friends I've made. So definitely people like Luke, Meg, Dan, Docker, all these sort of friends that I hope are lifelong friends that have come into my life, and I've gotten to know much better because as a result of working on the show. And for someone who's actually quite lonely, it's pretty good, really. Yeah, I think the main thing to take away for me personally would be the bonds that formed throughout the production period. Yeah.
Definitely making friendships. Yeah, because there's so many different personalities in the team. There's really big ones and there's really small ones, and so many different people have like different aspects to them that you can like correlate with, and like you'll find people who are very similar to you, and like the friendships gained from that is just like, you know, these are people you can trust, and these are people like outside of doing DW2012, if you've seen it at a con, you could just hang out with. It's definitely the friendship, and definitely like being part of a community that celebrates something you love, being Doctor Who as well. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Back in 2014, the channel went through a drastic change as it changed its name to DW2012. Why was this?
I wanted the channel to be taken more seriously, and I would like to have branched out and do videos that weren't always Doctor Who related. But I wanted to keep the DW and the 2012 because it was iconic. So myself and Dan, we both sat down and threw out loads of possible ideas on the DW and what that could stand for. And then we both just sort of settled on Dynamic Works 2012. Dynamic meaning constant change and a positive attitude, energy and new ideas. But yeah, I mean, that's where it's always come from. But DW 2012 has always been shortened for Doctor Who 2012, like back in the days of 2013 and whatnot. Like the idents was DW 2012, that was way back in like 2012, it was called that. But no, 2014 was the big change, the big, you know, we're not going to be Doctor Who 2012, we are DW 2012, which is Dynamic Works 2012. You're well known on the channel for playing the Valeyard in the Doctor Who series. How different are you to your character?
I have a lot less energy than I make out. I am more empathetic. I think the Valeyard doesn't really care much for human life or life in general. He's very much an anarchistic, kind of nihilistic kind of being. Not unlike the Celestial Toymaker in some ways, in that he sees everything as just a game. And once he dies, that's it. He doesn't have to worry about anything anymore. So I suppose on one hand that I am kind of like that character in the way that I've got that kind of satanic way of thinking about things, in the fact that it's alright, Dom. In the way that, you know, it's you only get one shot at life, might as well enjoy it. So that's the only thing that I really think I have in common with the Valeyard, is that kind of almost not living in the moment, but planning in the fact that you only get one shot at life and you might as well just wing it. And it worked well for him for the most part until the end.
Quite different, because I'd say Scarlet is brave, not afraid to go after what she wants to go after. She's very much the Doctor's daughter. She's smart. She tells her how it is, really. And I'd say I'm more laid back. And yeah, I'm definitely not as brave as Scarlet.
Part of him is a more exaggerated version of myself, but another part of it is just completely out there. Like, obviously we're still early days, we're still finding him, but I'm trying to make him, along with Luke, to make him as original as we can with the character. Speaking personally, between me and him, we're two very different people, and I don't think I can really draw many comparisons, except that he probably has his head together more than I do half the time. Well, I say in the early days probably not, but that Venn diagram will form pretty sharpish, I'd say.
I would say I'm quite different from Maggie. Obviously, you know, like, we look very similar. It's a strange thing, but she looks wild like me. I don't know why. You know, but personality-wise, we're quite different. Maggie is she's very considerate of other people. You can see through her relationship with the Doctor, and through her past with her brother, she is very caring, considerate, but she's also very cool. You know, she's like a radio host, and for that you need the confidence to be there. She's very confident, very cool, and I, not very cool. I'm not very out there. She's very cool. I'm very like cutesy stuff, so to say. But yeah, very different. But I'm very direct, to the point. Yeah.
Meg is like a more confident version of myself, I guess. She's sort of a really like determined person, and she's like sort of not afraid to tell someone what you think of them, whereas me, I'd be like probably too scared. Or, you know, she's a warrior, but she doesn't like to show it, which is similar to me as well. But at the end of the day, like, she likes to have fun and like go for new adventures and do like loads of new things, which is really exciting for her, which is, yeah, it's the same as me really.
Myself and the Irish Doctor have only one thing in common, is that we're both Irish. Besides that, me and him have nothing else in common. He's a confident man who, if he's talked down to, he'll talk up and he will regain the power of any conversation. I'm a bit shy. I don't really talk back to people. I'm usually just lack of confidence, but the Irish Doctor has so much confidence in that if he were to be assaulted or attacked, he would go ballistic. He would go very, very mad. But there's also a much more softer side to the Irish Doctor, which I think me and him do also have, whereas when he's in a situation that's a bit more delicate, I feel like me and him would necessarily be on the same wavelength when it comes to what to do in that situation, which is just to not be as aggressive and to be a bit more gentler.
When you were asked to be part of the channel, how was that approached?
Oh, that's going back a way, isn't it? Okay, so I believe that was all the way back in... Luke had was halfway through working on series 2 maybe? And so he messaged me and said I was thinking of maybe asking you to be the Doctor after me, in those exact words I believe. And of course, I leapt at the chance. Big performing arts fan, big Doctor Who fan, combine the two. It's a good combination really. So when he asked me, I was ecstatic, and a good few years later, here I am acting as the Doctor. I mean, it's certainly like been a great journey seeing Luke's era come to a natural close, for mine to begin. Being on the sidelines and watching it all happen from my perspective, it's been incredibly interesting, I'd say, and yeah, I'll never forget that day.
Isn't it 5 years?
5 years.
5 years.
My God,
crazy.
that is insane.
I wasn't asked to be part of the channel. I actually asked Luke back in 2012, ironically, when he first announced he was doing his Doctor Who series. He wanted someone to do VFX, and I'm not sure he wanted someone. I just said, I do VFX on the off. If you want to do VFX, just give me a call. And ironically, yeah, he did give me that message, and he said, yeah, I need a VFX artist, will you do it? And how it's sort of grown to that is it's just now. I was meant to only do episode 1. He said, okay, I'll come back to do episode 2. I'll do the entirety of the first series. I'll come back. I'll do up to the film. I'll do up to the film. I'll sign my life away to this channel. That's sort of how it evolved from it. Just an innocent, just like, I'll do something to me just now. Contractually obliged to do shit.
Yeah.
I kid.
Luke actually asked me at a convention. I'd known him for a few weeks, and then he sort of mentioned that he was looking for someone to play Scarlet, and told me about the series, and he knew I was interested in that sort of acting. So yeah, it went from there, and obviously I was like, yes, I want to do it. and it's turned out to be a good experience.
Well, I hadn't known Luke for a long time then. It was pretty much like only known him for a couple of weeks, and then he sort of approached the idea to me, went out for a meal, and then he just sort of approached the idea to me, told me all about what he does, and that he's looking for someone else, someone new to come into it. And at that point we didn't know how long for, whether it would just be like an episode, whether it would be like a long term. It was more or less sort of write you in, include you, and sort of see how it goes type thing. And he explained everything that he does, the fact that he's got a TARDIS in his back garden, and I was like, okay, that's a bit weird, but cool. And sort of approached the whole idea and asked me if I wanted to be involved, and I'm just like, yeah, sounds like fun, why not?
I was approached, was it 2015? I'd met the crew previously once or twice at meets, and there was this funny idea going around because I at that point was quite well known. I'd been wearing the red coat for some time, from as far back as when I used to live in Plymouth, and so I thought, wouldn't it be great if Luke could include the coat as like a background prop. So I remember coming up to him at one of these little gatherings and saying to him, if you want to use my coat in anything, just let me know. And that kind of oh, I'm known for this kind of way, because I used to be like that. And he took me aside and went, well, actually, I've got an idea for you. And I was like, oh yeah. And that's when I found out that I was going to be the Series 3 finale villain, which meant I wasn't allowed to tell anybody over Christmas time or anything. It was so difficult. It was so difficult because I wasn't getting people like coming up to me afterwards until like the new year. So by that point I'd almost forgotten. So I had people in like February going, oh my god, I loved you as the Valiant, and I was like, oh yeah. But yeah, and then that afternoon, because we were at a heritage kind of bus, kind of vintage bus thing, and Luke shot a scene or two in a bus, and he got me to just be like a stand-in, like sleeping on the bus. And I was thinking, and we were all kind of like joking, oh, people will look back and go, oh, that's the fun. Nobody did. No one ever did. But yeah, that's how it all started.
How has being involved in the channel affected your life?
It's affected me a lot, all in like positive ways. I used to be a very anxious person and had severe confidence issues. I'm still quite an anxious person, but it's more controlled now. And it's all because like I push myself into going new places and doing new things and meeting new people. As a person, I've grown a lot. I've come away with some great friendships, a wonderful experience, and I've learned many life lessons. It's helped me get out of a few dark places, and it's always been like my shining light. And I'm really like poetic then, but these last 10 years have been the best part of my life, and the memories are something that I will treasure forever. I never thought, like, when I was that 15-year-old Luke creating the channel, that it would ever get to this. So this channel has been, it's been the best part of my life, and it's affected it all in good ways, and I'm so glad that I did it. So yeah.
Well, I've been in this series 4 years now, and I feel quite a lot different to how I am now to when I started. I feel like I'm a lot more confident, and it's just kind of, it's almost become like a routine filming that like we do it every other weekend or we plan shoots, and it's just something that I'm so used to, and like Meg's character is like a big part of my life that I'm so used to doing now, and it sort of just helped me sort of like explore more and sort of acting itself and meeting so many new people and like going to different places, and even things that you'd see as little things like acting in public in front of people if they look, and it doesn't even bother me now, but like it used to at the start. Just little things like that in terms of, it's just new experience, and I feel a lot more sort of grown up as a person, seeing how like the series has progressed as well as me as a character. And yeah, it's only a positive thing, I'd say.
Positively, much positively, because as I've said, it's given me a hell of a load more friends than I would have, and I mean probably like bonds, like good bonds with people, and productivity obviously is a good thing. I love working on stuff, and working stuff like this is a lot of fun as well, so it's going to be friends, it's going to be fun, and the ability to portray a character that I adore, one of my favourite characters of all time, and give him my own interpretation of that character. It's all a perfect storm, really. So I'd say it's affected my life massively positively, and life-changing, yeah, I'd say so, and I love it. It's fantastic.
It's affected it in that I'm not as big as like you or the main cast, so they say, of the fan series. So it hasn't like gave me obligations to fulfill that like intertwine with my schedule of like my daily life, so they say. But it's definitely affected my life in that I've made so many new friends, and it's like an extra hobby or extracurricular activity, so they say, against doing my university work and stuff. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. It's affected it for the good, for the bad being that I have to spend so much more time with you. It's incredibly frustrating, but yeah, I really like it, and I can't wait to be involved with more stuff, so that, because there's still so many people I haven't met in DW12 yet, and yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, okay.
I've got some really nice friendships, and it's nice to still be able to sort of see how they're doing on that side of stuff and how everybody else is doing. And I've got I've gained confidence from doing it, and it's nice to see how people enjoy watching it as well, from the fan base. It's really nice.
In terms of how this channel and my involvement with the channel has affected my life, it's sort of because when I started DW2012, I was only really getting into VFX and film. Before that, I was in when I started, I was in secondary school, and now coming up to sort of like where I'm not as involved anymore is I'm in university and I'm getting a degree in film. So without DW2012, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have the experience, and also because of DW2012, I feel like I've definitely grown as a VFX artist, and I've definitely improved as a VFX artist. So I feel like without my involvement in DW2012, I feel like I would still not be as good as a VFX artist I am now.
Definitely for the better. I mean, I've mentioned it before, but yeah, it's definitely helped me for the better. It's helped me kind of realise what's important in life and what have you, and it's helped me with my channel, not just because the content that I've made in relation to DW2012 has helped me increase my sub numbers quite a fair bit. But it's really helped me kind of, help me focus with my video editing, and it's helped me with my confidence as well, because my confidence took a knock a few years back, and it's really helped me be a bit more outgoing, especially in public. Plus it would always give me something to do on a weekend. It's helped me kind of focus my time. It's really helped me focus my time. It's like if I've got a day free, I was like, I might as well go off and do something now instead of just doing naffle. So yeah, and I even though I'm no longer on the acting side of things, I really do enjoy, you know, turning up and taking behind the scenes photos and still getting involved, location hunting, all that kind of thing. I enjoy it. So yeah, it's just a nice kind of outlet for me now, and it's a good talking point. Because now when people who don't know me very well, they go, "Oh yeah, Doctor, you're into Doctor Who, aren't you?" I go, "Yeah," and I was in a series. I played a villain, and of course people are just like, "Really, a villain?" Because everyone loves a bad guy, don't they?
And what's in store for the future of DW2012?
I think the future for DW2012 is refreshment and changing. There's going to be a lot of drastic changes to the channel. We've got a brand new logo, brand new ident, brand new banner. The whole sort of aspect of the channel is sort of going to be changing. We want to be bolder, we want to be more professional. We still want to have fun with it. Project wise, we've got the Doctor Who fan film series. We are still doing that. Series 5, that's on its way, that's getting done. We'll be doing a separate video, like an update video for that. Then of course we've got a remastering of the first 3 series. That as a project on its own is huge project on its own. Yeah, and then of course we've got Tortured Rebirth, which is being produced by James Sutton and his team. But yeah, no, things will change this year. This is the 10-year anniversary. It's not just for a day, it's for a whole year. We're going to be doing a lot of celebration-y stuff. We might be doing challenge videos, branching out, doing new things. We just had the TARDIS Unlocked series that was produced by Meg. So yeah, like this year is a big year for us, and we're gonna aim big and deliver. So that's the future for DW2012. Bigger, better, and stronger. More fun and projects.
Happy 10-year anniversary DW2012.
Happy 10th anniversary DW2012! Woo!
Happy 10-year anniversary DW2012!
Happy 10th anniversary DW2012 from your new Doctor.
Happy birthday, DW2012.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, DW2012.
Happy anniversary. You guys are worth it.
Happy anniversary DW2012.